Okay, this video is about diluting a solution down. This will also be part of that quiz that goes with the molarity. So watch this video. You should have your calculators ready. You should have your periodic tables ready in case we need to do any converting. But when you want to dilute a solution, what you're doing is you're taking what they call a stock solution, and a stock solution has a higher concentration. Okay, it's the concentrated solution. So for HCl, its stock solution, if we were going to go and buy it somewhere, it would come as a 12 molar concentration. In class, we don't use 12 molar very often. Normally we'll use 6 molar or 3 molar or 1 molar. So what we have to do is we have to dilute it down. We have to prepare a less concentrated solution by adding water to a stock solution. So we're adding water to this to dilute it down. So the equation that we're going to be using is M1V1 equals M2V2. Looks similar to those gas laws in the last chapters with the ones and the twos. The letter M stands for molarity. Okay, that's what we just talked about in the other video, how to find the molarity. The V stands for the volume. So just like in the gas laws, you have changing conditions here. You have an original concentration in volume, and you have a new concentration in volume. So you're going to be starting out with a 12 molar concentration, and you want to dilute it down to a 3 molar concentration. So we're going to see what volumes we need in order to do these types of problems. So you guys need to write down these sample problems in your notes, because I'm going to be looking for them, that you have them written down, that you sat and you watched these videos and you've learned what's going on here. So this one, number 21, says what volume of a 3 molar Ki stock solution, so there's your stock, that's the concentrated one, the stock solution is the concentrated solution. So if you have a 3 molar Ki stock solution, would you use to make 0.3 liters of a 1.25 molar Ki solution? So what you want to do here is you want to dilute it down from 3 molar to a 1.25 molar. We want to add water. And the question is, what volume of this stuff do we need? Okay, so the equation is M1V1 equals M2V2. Okay, there's our equation. So the M1 is the 3 molar Ki solution. Our V1, we don't know. That's the question. How much of that stuff do we need? The M2, we want to dilute it down to 1.25 molar. And our V2 is we're going to have 0.300 liters of that stuff. So now we plug in what we know into our equation. So you got 3.00 molar. Remember, molar is how many moles you have per liter. So watch your volumes. Make sure they're in liters for this particular problem. We don't know our M or our V1, sorry. Our M2, 1.25 molar or moles per liter. And V2, 0.300 liters. All right, so now all we got to do is solve for our X. So 1.25 times 0.3 divided by 3, and you should be plugging this into your calculators also. X is 0.125, and we're solving for our volume here. And volume in this problem is measured in liters. So you have 0.125 liters is how much you need. So basically what you're saying here is you're going to take 125 milliliters or 0.125 liters of your 3 molar Ki solution. You're going to add enough water in order for it to dilute down to 120 or 1.25 molar solution, and you're going to have 300 milliliters or 0.3 liters of this stuff. if I ask the question, how much water do you need to use? You can figure that out easily. This is how many liters of the Ki stock solution. This right here is how many liters of total solution. If you have just the Ki and you have the total, all you need to do is subtract. So if you have 0.3 liters of total solution and 0.125 liters of just the Ki, you can subtract those two and you can determine that you would need 0.175 liters of just the water. This may be a question that you will see. So you're going to need 0.125 liters of a 3 molar Ki solution. You'll have to add 0.175 liters of water to it to dilute it down to a 1.25 molar solution so that you get a total solution of 0.3 liters. Let's try this one. How many milliliters of a 5 molar sulfuric acid stock solution, so that's the higher concentration, right here is your stock solution, would you need to prepare 100 milliliters of a 0.25 molar sulfuric acid solution? It's the same problem that we saw before. We're looking for how much of this stuff do you need? All right, so our M1 is 5. Our V1 is what we don't know. Our M2 is 0.25. We want to reduce it down from 5 molar to 0.25 molar. And we want to make a total of 100 milliliters of that solution. You do not have to change the volumes here. Okay, you can keep the volumes in milliliters, even though those concentrations are in liters. You can keep them in milliliters in this particular problem. In any of these problems for dilutions, you can. So M1 V1 equals M2 V2. Plug in your numbers. Your volume you don't know, 0.25 molar and 100 milliliters. You do not have to change your volumes. Okay, you'll be good because the moles will cancel out. Your concentrations will cancel out and you'll end up with just your volumes left. So you're okay there. So 0.25 times 100 divided by 5 gives you X equals 5. And we'll need 2 sig figs milliliters of the H2SO4. So just like the last problem, if I asked you how much water you're going to need, well, the total solution you have is 100. And you just found out of the 100, you're only going to use 5 of the 100 is the sulfuric acid. So you take your total minus, and you end up getting 95 milliliters is just water. All right, and then let's look at this one. It says if you dilute 20 milliliters of a 3.5 molar solution to make 100 milliliters of solution, what is the molarity of the diluted solution? So what's going to be the new concentration? So this one's a little bit different than the other two we looked at. So our M1 is 3.5 molar. Our V1 is 20 milliliters. So they're telling us this time. Our M2 is the thing that we don't know. Our V2 is we want to make 100 milliliters of total solution with a new concentration. So we want to figure out what we're going to reduce it down to. So M1 V1 equals M2 V2. And you got 3.5 times 20 equals x times 100. So you got 3.5 times 20 divided by 100, and you get, and we'll need two sig figs, 0.70 molar is going to be the new concentration. So you're diluting it from 3.5 down to a 0.70 molar solution. Okay, so I'll be looking for that you have these examples written down. I'm also going to give you a little quiz, so make sure you go over units and definitions and stuff like that so that you're able to answer a short little quiz tomorrow that you've watched these videos.